Hello and welcome to No Option Antics. This is Peter Zamaya here, talking to you about option cycles. And what we're going to determine as to why, when you're looking at an option chain, there are months missing on your option chain. So let's get into it. Let's first talk about how the options are listed on the option chain. Every stock that's optionable will have what are known as the current month options. They're also known as the front month or near-term month options. Then what you'll have is the very next month out. From that, you'll have what's called the next cycle, and we'll be discussing the cycles and how they're determined and so on. And then you'll have the LEAPs, the long-term equity anticipation securities that are typically the January options for the next few years. So we have the current month, next cycle, possibly more than one cycle, and then the LEAPs. So let's look at the different cycles first of all. You got cycle 1, cycle 2, and cycle 3. These are the three types of cycles that are listed with options. Here's how the option cycles are listed. Cycle 1 will start in January. It'll skip February and March. Its next cycle will be April. It'll skip May and June. The next cycle will be July. It'll skip August and September. The next cycle will be October. In the cycle 2, February is the first month. It'll skip March, April. The next cycle will be May. It'll skip June, July. The next cycle will be August. It'll skip September and October. The next cycle will be November. Cycle 3 starts in March. It'll skip April and May. The next cycle will be June. It'll skip July and August. The next cycle will be September. And then it'll skip October and November, and the last cycle will be in December. So these are how the cycles operate. So when you were looking at the options, remember that the options listed are the front month, the very next month, and then the cycles, and then the LEAPs. So let's take a look at an example. Let's say that right now it's January, and the stock is a cycle 2. These are the options that will be listed for a cycle 2 stock starting in January. You'll always have the current month, which is the January options in this case. You'll always have the next month, which are the February options. Now we have to look at the next cycle. If we remember from cycle 2 starts in February, skips March and April, the next cycle is May. Then would skip June and July, the next cycle will be August. So you can see that possibly we're going to have a couple of cycles that are going to be listed. And then January for the following 2 years, those are the LEAP options. Now, how do those months fill in? You'll see that we had a gap between some of the months. So what's going to happen is when January expires, February will become the front month or the near-term month. So all options will have the February option listed. They will have the very next month, which will be the March option, and their next cycles, and so on. So this is how the options fill in. Now, the question comes to, well, how do I know which options or which stocks have which option cycles? Now, as far as their assignment, how they're given their option cycles, they are randomly assigned. The only way to really know what options are available is to look at the option chain. And it's not that we can do anything about it, it's just that this is the reason why certain months are listed and certain months are not listed. Thank you very much for joining us here at No Option Antics. If you want to learn more, come to www.nooptionantics.com, or if you have questions, you can email us at info@nooptionantics.com. This is Peter Zamaya. Thank you very much, and we hope to see you soon.